fun one for you. COVID and credit. Yes, yes, yes. I know you're so sick of talking about forbearance and deferrals and who has a job, who doesn't have a job. Is unemployment going to continue? Is the CARES Act going to continue? Now, here's the 3 things you should know when it comes to what has happened. Here it is a year later. What is the impact on COVID when it comes to credit? Number 1, major piece is the CARES Act. All of the repositories, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, all the creditors don't know what to do when it comes to reporting. As of the CARES Act, they're not supposed to report late payments. But when everything's automated and it just goes without anybody monitoring what's going on, and people have positive payments, not negative ones, what are they supposed to do? That's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is what's going on with all these merchants that have closed as a result of COVID? What's going on with all of the creditors that are facing cash shortages, liquidity issues, and are now cutting off people's credit lines due to inactivity? Okay, that's shortening people's history. That's reducing their amounts of revolving debt. Kind of interesting stuff. Here's number 3. Number 3 is actually not a bad one. Number 3 is kind of interesting. Right now, America as a whole, the average consumer is carrying the lowest debt load that they've ever held as it pertains to revolving and installment debt, all as a result of not just tax returns, not just lowered and reduced budgets on a monthly basis, but as a result of stimulus, and more importantly, as diminished spending by not going out. It's amazing what this year has done. So when it comes to COVID and credit, there's highs, there's lows. I'd love to talk further about this. And why don't we break each one of these topics down? Maybe over the next couple of weeks, we'll do some really cool content pieces about them. And let's keep the ball rolling. Main thing just to remember as we give out tips and tricks consumer forward, let's talk about each one of those 3 pieces I mentioned. Piece number 1, when it comes to the CARES Act and reporting. If it's not accurate, it's not verifiable, it doesn't meet the CARES Act, those are great things to contest using the Fair Credit Reporting Act and utilizing any type of credit, either optimization or resources that you might have. Number 2, when it comes to stores and cards closing due to inactivity. This is where it's so relevant and super important that we use those cards. Every card, every quarter, pair of socks. I know I say it, I'm gonna say it again. Every card, every quarter, pair of socks. And credit and debt don't have to be equal. So even if it's a store that maybe you wouldn't normally make a purchase at, you wouldn't normally purchase online, make a purchase, return it. I just want you using that card so that no matter what, the creditor cannot say it's being closed due to inactivity. Every single card, retail, not retail. And then that 3rd piece. This is awesome. If you've taken advantage of a payment deferral on one card that maybe has a higher interest rate, start using the snowball method. Apply all that money towards something that has a higher interest rate and get those debts knocked out. You got a paycheck on the stimulus, use that money to pay off debt. Don't buy another TV, don't buy another toy. You don't need it right now because you can't go anywhere anyways. Even though we're opening up, we're not fully open. So use that money, leverage it to put yourself in a so much better position. We can talk more too about exactly the cost of credit, maybe moving on. So look forward to seeing you again next week. Let me know what you think of these topics. Let me know which parts you have questions about and how much more you want me to expand. Look forward to talking to you soon.